Hello and welcome to Annie's Short Stories. I hope you enjoy this story. I'm going to try and upload a new story each day. The Phantom Train of Brading Station. The Isle of Wight had its share of ghost stories, whispered in dimly lit pubs and recounted by those who swore they'd seen more than mere shadows in the mist. Holly Arnold, an investigative writer with a taste for the macabre, had heard most of them, but none intrigued her as much as the legend of the Phantom Train of Brading Station. It was said that on certain fog-choked nights an ancient locomotive materialized on the disused tracks, its rusted metal groaning like the voices of the lost. Passengers, trapped between this world and the next, gazed out from shattered windows with hollow eyes, forever waiting for a journey that would never end. Holly arrived at the station just past midnight. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and rust. The platform, long abandoned, was overgrown with ivy and weeds that slithered through the cracked concrete. A distant owl hooted, the sound swallowed almost instantly by the suffocating silence that followed. She gripped her recorder tightly, the red light blinking in the darkness. Then the temperature dropped. A deep, mournful whistle echoed through the night, reverberating in Holly's chest. She turned toward the tracks. The mist thickened, swirling like grasping fingers, and from its depths the train emerged. It was a monstrous relic of the past, its iron body corroded and charred as if it had once been consumed by fire. The wheels churned soundlessly over rusted rails. The headlamp flickered weakly, illuminating nothing but sorrow. Holly's breath hitched as she saw figures inside of men, women, children dressed in tattered garments from a bygone era. Their mouths moved soundlessly, eyes pleading, hands pressed against the cracked glass. One figure stood apart. A man in a street conductor's uniform, his face a mask of regret. He stepped onto the platform, his movements oddly fluid, as though time had no true hold on him. "Help us," he rasped. Holly swallowed hard. The conductor's eyes, dark voids of despair, locked onto hers. "We were never meant to be here. Our journey was stolen to wreck the fire." A gust of icy wind surged through the station, rattling the rusted sign overhead. Shadows danced in the corners of Holly's vision. She turned sharply, heart hammering, certain she had seen movement among the ruins of the old ticket booth. The legend had always hinted at a tragedy, a train crash in the early 1900s, a derailment that sent dozens to a fiery death near Brading. Official reports claimed all souls had been laid to rest. But now, standing before the restless dead, Holly knew the truth. "What must I do?" she asked. The conductor extended a skeletal hand. Everything in Holly screamed against it. The very air around the train pulsed with a heavy, unnatural energy. The platform beneath her feet felt suddenly fragile, as though she might slip through it into nothingness. But she had come seeking the truth, and the truth demanded a prize. She grasped his hand, and the world around her dissolved. The cold bit into her bones. The roar of fire and metal filled her ears. The train was whole once more, and she stood among the living, in an era long past. Screams erupted as the train shuddered violently, veering off its path. Flames licked through the carriages, consuming wood, flesh, and fate itself. Holly stumbled forward, heart pounding. If she was here, if she was part of this moment, then perhaps she could change it. She lunged for the emergency brake, but ghostly hands held her back. "No," the conductor said. "We are already dead. You cannot change that." Tears burned Holly's eyes as she realized what he meant. They were bound to this moment because no one had remembered, no one had acknowledged their pain. She turned, forcing herself to meet the eyes of the doomed souls. "But you are seen. Your suffering is not forgotten. Go now." The fire roared, and with it the spirits let out a collective sigh, a sound of release, of finality. The inferno consumed them, but this time it did not trap them. Then everything went black. Holly awoke on the cold platform, gasping for breath. The train was gone. The mist had lifted. And for the first time in over a century, the night was silent. She sat there for a long time, the weight of what she had witnessed pressing upon her. The recorder in her pocket was still running, the red light blinking steadily. She reached for it with trembling fingers and rewound the tape. Static. Then a faint voice. Holly's blood ran cold. She knew no one would ever believe her. But the truth had found its way to her, and now it was her burden to carry. The legend of the phantom train of Brading Station had come to an end. But Holly knew the truth would never die. It would simply wait for the next traveler willing to listen. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like, and even better, like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day.